Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the top 5 best weapons in Palworld's 1.0 update. I'll also be covering the best synergies between the different pals that you combine on your team, and just in general, all the weapons that have been added in the newest update. So for a brief overview of the weapons we'll be looking at, I first started off the video with a prototype shotgun there. We also have the combat shotgun, the new beam toss or beam launcher here, the beam scatter, kind of like a shotgun. My personal favorite, the mechanical bow here with, you can see, a very high attack stat. These are all the legendary highest damage versions, just for your information. We'll also be looking at the drone launcher and its twin, the Terra Prisma sword here, one of my favorites. The heavy assault rifle, another favorite, although it's not really that crazy powerful. The overheat rifle, which has been changed a bit since their last update, the laser sword, enhanced lily sphere, the tactical grenade launcher, and the plasma rifle, which will chain to multiple enemies, making it a great one if you're getting raided. Now, I did just do a video breaking down the top 5 best player damage builds, but I want to talk about a few pals quickly here that boost up your damage. I'm sure you know Selen will increase your attack power by 80% if all pals are different species. Things like Cryolink's Terra here will increase the next weak point attack damage by 60%. This is a huge boost because on certain bosses you can just spam attacks on it. In addition to this, we also would like to have things like Van Worm and Van Worm Christ, which will give you an increased damage to the weak points, 40 and 50% respectively. One of my new favorite synergies is Poison from Dandalord here. When it's in your part, or whenever it's in your party, you'll inflict poison on your attacks. Poison will actually stack with other statuses like Soak or Electrify, and then you have things like Prickster, which will increase the amount of damage to enemies that are poisoned by 65%. Then we also have things like Renjishi, which will apply burn on your attacks, and then things like Yormantide Ignis, which gives you increased damage by 65% against those that are burned, and also Magix, which will create a surrounding flame around your character on anyone that's burned, and then also Flarical, which will increase your damage by 60% by doing an explosion around, so it's great for mobbing if you're doing a burn build. For electric setups, I really like to roll with the Snock here, which will electrify 6 on your attacks, and then you can also boost it up by doing an explosion of electricity damage equal to 60% with Slowot. And likewise Ophidia, which will apply Soaked 6 on your attacks, and then you can also mix this up with Yormantide, which will increase the damage against soaked targets by 65%. Even crazier, you can then run with Hellzephyr Lux, Beacon, or Prinkster Lux, which will change your damage type to electric, which does double damage to soaked enemies. So those are some ways to maximize weapon damage. I'd encourage you to check out my video. I'll have that pinned in the comments for some other really great ideas. Now I'm going to first start off with some honorable mentions here. Now, the melee weapons in this game, I'm just going to put it straight. They suck. They are not that good, especially when shotguns do so much more damage. The only thing they have on it is conserving your ammunition. However, there's actually some in this game that are really powerful shotguns that don't take up a whole lot of ammo. But yeah, we have like the laser sword, enhanced lily sphere, Terra Prisma, and another honorable mention, the drone launcher. These are actually cool because you can use your other weapons and they'll attack for you. The drone launcher obviously being a much more powerful version of Terra Prisma, but Terra Prisma looks really cool. This is the legendary version. Every time you attack, you get swords, and then when you're going against enemies, those swords will attack the enemy. Same thing with the drone launcher. You can fire these off, and this is just going to give you extra drones to fight along enemies. Now here's what the enhanced lily sphere looks like for damage. It is really low. It's just laughably how low it is when shotguns do that much damage per pellet. And same thing with this Star Wars-esque sword. It is decent damage and it looks cool. And then you can also do a special attack here where you slice like that, kind of like Moonveil Katana. So I do like this weapon. It's just not as strong as some of the others here. Now I'm going to throw the beam launcher into honorable mentions, but I honestly think this weapon sucks. I've tried using it, I hate it. So the worst part about it is, you can see there, it does a good amount of damage, 121,000 with my current setup here. The problem is 3 shots and it overheats, making this very useless against most encounters in the game, because yeah, you do good burst damage, but you don't ever need that little amount of burst damage when every other weapon can do a lot more. So yeah, there's like an honorable mention. I don't really like it. It's not that good. But I want to first start off with the very powerful prototype, like heavy shotgun or heavy assault rifle prototype shotgun and combat SMG. This is going to lead into my number 5, just to show you guys the damage on these. Now, the nice thing about the prototype shotgun is it's way better than a melee weapon, and all 3 of these are really cheap. They just need solar light ingots to be able to be crafted, so they're not too expensive. So you can see the amount of damage that we're doing here. We just got down to 4,500, so we did 500,000 damage there. It's pretty powerful in terms of the amount of damage. It does have a pretty good amount of recoil, so you will have to bring this back down, but you can see it there. We did a full clip into it there, and we did around 2 million damage. Now, this isn't as high as compared to like the combat SMG, which gets the damage off a lot faster. But the only problem is like between the three of these, you can see here, we actually did some considerable amounts of damage. This has a reload. So you do want pals in your party that give you like the reload master to increase your reload speed. Things like Vanguard are also really nice to boost up your damage, but yeah, this helps out a lot. Because the combat SMG will actually do more damage quickly. So like a full clip here of 50 bullets, just it's 600 or 500,000 damage there. Whereas if we were to do the same amount of damage with this shotgun, it takes considerably longer. That's the only really downside to it, is it takes a few seconds longer to get the same amount of damage. And then the heavy assault rifle here, I like it, but it's slower than the other two there to get the damage off. So if we're to look at these three weapons as like our number 5 is going to the combat SMG. This is a fast firing weapon, so it's great for applying statuses if you're going for a status build, as I mentioned previously. It does damage quicker than the prototype shotgun. If you wanted to shoot without reloading, the prototype shotgun would be better. These two are very close. I love the assault rifle, but it's just not as good as the combat SMG and the prototype shotgun. So our number 5 is going to the combat SMG. This is not my production base, but as you can see here, the nice thing about it is they do have pretty low ammo costs. With Sword Lighting, it's a 2 and 10 gunpowder, and then the same thing with the prototype shotgun there, it's 4 of them. And then the combat SMG, despite going through the ammo quicker, it's a little bit cheaper than the heavy assault rifle, but it's honestly not bad compared to some of the others, because you can farm this at your base and just have an infinite supply of ammo. And yes, I did build a tower up here for testing purposes with a view. Now this is where the ranking gets tough, because the plasma rifle is probably my most used weapon with this update. It is very powerful, and it's really good because it chains to multiple enemies. This is the best in slot for like mobbing because of that. It allows you to hit multiple targets at once. And it has like a nice ricochet effect, so like it's not bouncing off there, but you can shoot off the ground, and it does a lot of damage. It does have a very expensive ammo cost like all the other energy weapons here, so that is a downside to that. As ammo for the plasma rifle does require bio batteries, peroxiding, and sword lighting. It's the same thing with the beam scatter and the beam launcher. It's this garbage weapon. These energy weapons are also boosted up by Xeno Guard here, which will increase the energy weapon damage done by 35%, which is definitely worth grabbing. Same thing as Nyafia here, which will increase shotgun damage by 35%. So yeah, you can stack these up and do some pretty crazy stuff. Check out my video on all the best builds for player damage for more information. But the cool thing about the plasma rifle is you can just chain these shots around, and it's just going to bounce around hitting multiple enemies. So if you're going against multiple enemies in one place and you just need to take care of them, this thing will bounce around. And on a full clip with this setup here, we're about to do about 1 million damage there on a full clip. So it is a very powerful one. It does damage faster than the previous weapons, but it does have that high ammo cost associated to it. So if you're doing single target damage, I wouldn't recommend this over our next. Which in number 3, third place, Tactical Grenade Launcher. This uses ammunition that uses just sword lighting gunpowder, which is similar to the combat SMG, the prototype shotgun, and that is a beautiful thing. It does a lot of damage here, and you can shoot this really quickly. Like these exploding grenades do a ton of damage, huge area of effect as well, so if you're fighting against mobs, it's great for that. This weapon is really good. I personally really enjoy it just because of a few reasons. It does good damage, it hits like really fast too. It's surprising how quickly you can fire this off with a 12 round magazine, but the biggest thing is it is the cheapest ammo cost outside of another weapon that we have here. So yeah, I do prefer it over to plasma rifle in a lot of situations, just because you're not going to be burning through your peroxide ignuts as much as you would. So yeah, it does do a lot of damage. That's like the thing with this weapon. So I'll show you a full clip of this. You're going to see here if we land them all. The only problem is it's like the huge explosions are a little tricky. 700,000 damage there, but it is again a cheaper ammo cost than the plasma rifle, and you're guaranteed getting crits pretty easily with this thing. We did 800,000 damage that time. So yeah, very powerful, and it's quick with how fast you can fire off all 12 rounds. And speaking of quick, takes us to our second place best weapon, the Beam Scatter. So this is a really cool one. Think of it like an energy shotgun. Now, it's a cool weapon because you can fire it like this, and you see the fire rate on it. It does a lot of damage here. It's got a huge magazine too, but that's not all, folks. You can also manually click it and fire it off even faster. So this out damages the other energy weapons by a lot, because if you got a fast trigger finger, you can do this really quick. So that is really nice. Also, if you're using an auto clicker, it can also benefit this weapon. So yeah, it's like a Jacob's weapon. If you play Borderlands, it fires as fast as you can pull the trigger. It does around over like 1.1 million damage per clip there, so, or per magazine. and it has an absolutely massive magazine size of 38. So just firing off all these beams here, you can see we're doing a crazy amount of damage there, 1.1 million there. So yeah, this is a very fun and easy weapon to buff up because there is different ways to actually buff this. The only downside, the ammo cost, but our best weapon, in my opinion, the mechanical bow. I love bows in this game. They're really fun to use, especially if you got like the triple hop boots, so you can just jump up and ping them off just like your Hawkeye. And while the beam scatter gives you 10 ammunition for pal oxide ignites, sword light ingots, and batteries, the best part about the mechanical bow is it just uses sword light ingots, so very cheap. However, it can also be buffed. Robin Quill will increase bow damage by 35%. Robin Quill Terra will increase your bow charge speed by 35%. And Lumen will make your arrows explode on contact, dealing additional damage equal to 30% of the player's attack damage. So that is huge. So with this setup here, Solan increasing attack by 80%, we got to increase attack speed, damage, poison on our arrows, and explosive arrows. We can get poison exploding arrows that do 500,000 damage each, roughly. It is insane. These things do crazy amounts of damage here, so by far the best weapon in this game. I love this thing. It is great against every boss. It's easy to hit the weak spot on if you're going against like the new raid bosses. So yeah, this thing is absolutely powerful, and you can see here we're almost able to take out the training dummy with this. So yeah, we got it down to 1 hit point there before it was able to regen itself. This thing is crazy. It is fun to use. The bows in this game are great. I'm glad the best weapon is the mechanical bow. So yeah, that is the top 5 best weapons in Palworld's 1.0 update. Let me know your thoughts though in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below for more Palworld content, and we'll catch you all in the next video.